Imagine it's springtime and you found yourself in a cottage. There's green everywhere outside, but you're inside. The cottage is made of stone, and there's a beautiful fireplace that's been out for years. It was obviously a coal fireplace, as you can smell the soot. The dark and dirty soot fills the entire living room. It's dark inside the cottage, but yet outside the light is just pumping in. Something has happened to you, at least something incredibly saddening. Maybe a death in the family, maybe a divorce, but something that has rocked your world, something that will change your life forever. And you're now in this cottage trying to rebuild your life. And although the future could potentially be very positive for you, that's the outside. Because inside, you feel extraordinarily melancholic. And the only thing that you have left that's of any significant value is the leather jacket that you're wearing. That is what springs to mind with Rule of 72 by 2787 Parfums. Romy Kowalski is the founder of 2787 Parfums. She was interested in fragrances, smells, and all things olfactive at a very young age. Romy has even stated that it is because of her parents' bakery and all the smells and sensations that went into it made her sense of smell more refined and disciplined, and quite clearly, this is a passion project for her. After searching for a little while, she was finally able to secure the backing to be able to launch her own brand. Rule of 72 is indeed a reference to the financial Rule of 72, which is a simplified formula that calculates how long it'll take for an investment to double in value. The nose behind this fragrance, and I do apologise if I'm not pronouncing this correctly, is Gail Monterum, a relative nobody in the industry. Although he was slated as one of the most promising up-and-coming perfumiers in our industry, according to the Fragrance Foundation, and I would have to agree. This doesn't feel like the composition of a newcomer. This feels like a composition of a master, of somebody who's been doing this for a very long time, knows what they like, knows the art that they want to create, and knows how to do it very well and succinctly. The presentation on this is simple, minimal, but also striking. It reminds me of marble white stone shimmering in the sunlight. It is user-friendly, succinct, and very modern, which I really like. Notice that this is quite a small size. There are only two sizes to go along with the name of the fragrance house. One is 27ml, the other is 87ml. With regards to rating, I would give this presentation a great rating. I think it is simple enough, it's straightforward enough, it's not too much and it's not too little. There could be maybe more to it, but it is what it is. I'd say it's great. So let's go to the note breakdown, or at least the main notes, and see if I agree with it. We've got saffron, cardamom, leather, oud, vetiver. Do I agree? Yes, this is a perfect representation of this fragrance. I think that the saffron and leather is brilliant. It is similar to things that we have smelt before, with such outings as Interlude Man by Amouage and to a degree Tuscan Leather by Tom Ford. It's definitely in that same genre, but if you're not familiar with those, this might be your best starting point, because this is more user-friendly than both of those combined. Also, it paints more of a picture than the others because this has a very big green accord in it, and that is the meadow, the forest that I was seeing in my metaphor earlier. And with that, there is a beautiful contrast that is somber yet bright. It's a real paradox of a fragrance in that way, but because of that, it keeps it interesting and it keeps me coming back again and again. But is it a people pleaser? So, I don't know if you're familiar with the new rating system, but we have merde, incredibly unlikely. Merde is, it's poop in French. That means it just is no way, no, not an average person would like this at all. Incredibly unlikely that the average person would like it. Unlikely, coin toss, it could be 50-50. Likely, very likely, and then the top rating, which is Aventus, because apparently everybody falls over themselves for that fragrance. The rule of 72, in my mind, would be likely. It is a likely people pleaser. There are some things about it that have more of a niche quality, and the leather and the saffron is not generally seen as people pleasing, but This is calming. It does have that big green element that calms everything down, and that makes this, I think, more fresher than your average leather scent, and that could potentially up the pleasability. But also, as it dries down, it does become quite clean, becomes quite musky, and I think that that is going to be the likely element in this fragrance. The big thing that I should point out is that in the opening spray, straight off the top, this is probably going to be unlikely a people pleaser, but give it 10-15 minutes and then it becomes a little bit more likable and a lot more user friendly. Who is this fragrance for? I'd say that it's somebody who is mature, somebody who, I mean, you know, you can be mature at any age, but I think that somebody in their 30s or late 20s this could really resonate with. 40s, 50s, most definitely. Somebody who goes to the office, somebody who wears a suit. I think for somebody who is looking for a fragrance to make them feel more confident, or a fragrance that will give the image of confidence for them. Somebody who enjoys Amouage Interlude or Amouage Interlude Black Iris, I would say that you must try this. And somebody who enjoys a contrast between leathery fragrances and green fragrances. And finally, and I'd say most importantly, somebody who wants to step into the niche bracket of fragrances but has been afraid to, has been frightened to. Everything just sounds a little bit too intense, everything sounds a little bit too deep, or your taste in fragrance has still not gone to the crazy side yet, but you want something to tip you over the edge, you want something to dip your toe into, then this really could help. And now we come to projection and longevity. I no longer score projection and longevity out of 5. The reason being is that I think it's kind of a redundant thing these days. Some people prefer lighter scents, some people prefer skin scents. So if you give a rating that's 1 out of 5 and it's only a skin scent, that implies that the fragrance projection longevity is bad, but for somebody that actually might be a positive thing. So my new rating system goes as follows. With projection, we have skin, a skin scent. It projects out to maybe an arm, then to the shape of a person, then to a room, it's a room-filling fragrance, then it's a house-filling fragrance, and then to the extreme measure, it's a hotel-filling fragrance. For me, this is straight bang in the middle, and it's a person. When I put this on, I'd say that my whole body radiates it pretty decently, but not overbearing. It doesn't fill a room. And if you are in a crowded place, this might get lost in the shuffle. But if people come into your personal space, they will no doubtedly smell you. And as for longevity, I give this the higher mark of 6 to 8 hours. This does last a good amount of time, maybe not a whole day, but near enough. And that should be good enough, really, for a scent like this. I've tested this in different temperatures. I've worn this in spring. This was my spring signature scent. It is now autumn, and it's just about the same. My conclusion is that this is a beautifully somber yet green and refreshing fragrance. It is fresh, yet it is dark and billowing. It's a beautiful composition. I actually prefer it to the Amouage fragrances, and I much prefer it to Tuscan leather. This and ombre leather are different. Ombre leather is somebody who is a player, or maybe recently just got married. Rule of 72 is a little bit more thoughtful, a little bit more pragmatic, like I said, maybe even somebody who just got divorced and is trying to pick their life together. I don't mean, of course, that this is only for men who have recently gone through divorces, but I'm saying that this has more of a somber, thoughtful, and almost borderline nihilistic sensibility. But it's a really, really great and unique composition and a beautiful addition to the niche world. And I want to reiterate that if you are somebody who is just getting into niche or wants to get into niche but doesn't really know where to start, this could actually be the perfect first niche for somebody. I'm going to give my personal rating of 5 out of 5 to this fragrance. It's absolutely wonderful. Anyway, thank you very much. I'm the Fragrance Apprentice. If you've enjoyed this video, you could have seen this video a week before it premiered by joining Patreon gang. It is one of the fastest growing fragrance sub-communities in the entire fragrance community. We've now got a Discord where you can ask for advice, where you can share recent purchases. There's even a Fragaholics Anonymous, seriously, where if you feel as though you're buying too much and you want to talk about it and want to try and make some sense out of it, we'll support you and you'll be part of an exciting and flourishing community. It's about $12 a month to join, but there's so many perks and it's ever evolving as the weeks go by. I really don't know where the Patreon's going to go. It has gone from strength to strength. I'd love to see you there, and not just me, but the whole of Patreon gang would love to invite you in. Anyway, I'm the Fragrance Apprentice. I hope you enjoyed this review of Rule of 72. I'm the Fragrance Apprentice. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.